Wow, what a terrible show we have tonight. Terrible show for Smackdown. The Godfather Soldiers from Slumming. And then my topic tonight is called Foolish in Fort Worth. This Backlash 2025 is going to be worth watching. So much I have to say tonight. Before I start opening the show, I'm going to open the show with a little bit of music. I'm going to open the show with the number one hits, number one single, 1995, an R&B track's called Space by the late Prince. Rock and soul musician Prince. One of my favorite musicians. I loved growing up when I was little. So stick around, be right back, and get the music popping. Break it all down for all of you. And I'll be right back. Yep, Space, all of you just heard by Prince, number one hit single. 1995, was released in 1994. Rest in peace of Prince. Let's get down to tonight's show. That's terrible it was. Okay, then now Forever Together hits the screen. We cut to an aerial shot of the outside arena into the Street Profits. Motion, machine guns, and DIY are all entering the arena. The camera cuts to the new United US champion Jacob Fatu along with Sol Sioka. Entering the arena, we see WWE Women's Champion Tiffany Stratton backstage. WrestleMania 41 highlights air. John Cena, Randy Orton. Hold on one second. Okay, I'm back. Okay, now as I was saying, we see a segment here is John Cena and Randy Orton back live in the arena. John Cena's music and a loud John Cena sucks chant from the crowd. The ring announcer Mark Nash introduces Cena to the ring, and Cena comes out with the undisputed World Wrestling Entertainment Championship backwards around his waist, holding the last time is now towel behind his head. He gets in the ring and raises his title in the air and points to the ring announcer Mark Nash, who gets in the ring. Cena hands him a piece of paper and the fans chant, "Let's go Cena, Cena sucks." Nash looks at Cena, who's looking at the crowd. Cena walks around the ring and shakes his head. Nash reads off on my papers, serious apologies. I've been informed again that my announcement had been deemed disrespectful. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the greatest of all time, the 17 gracing Fort Worth with his presence for the final time, the last real champion, John Cena. He's not retiring. Trust me, he's not retiring. The fans boo as Cena raises the belt in the air and Nash leaves the ring. As Cena hold on a second. As Cena's about to speak, the fans boo as Cena raises his belt in the air and Nash leaves the ring. As Cena's about to speak, Randy Orton's music hits and out he comes to the ring. The fans sing his theme music. Orton asks for a microphone and looks at Cena. The fans chant Randy. Cena holds the belt up and the fans boo him. Orton asks Cena if he knows what he found out. In a couple of months, it will be 25 years to the day since they first shook hands. Orton tells Cena he's known him for 25 years and he means that as a compliment. Cena had never changed. Never changed. He always thought. He was always about hustle, loyalty, and respect. Yep, Hoyle. Hustle. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, hustle, loyalty, and respect. It was a way of life. He began to think he realized that there was void in Cena's life. Void in Cena's life. And he started to think. Orton says he thought about the fans over the years, the millions and millions of kids who looked up to him since day one. All the days that he motivated and was a role model for the kids. set the goals because of him. Track and field and on the court and classrooms, generations of kids looked up to Cena. Surely that means something to Cena. Orton tells Cena he granted one more wishes than anyone in history of the Grant Wish Foundation. So Orton tells Cena that he knows him too well, and Cena can't tell him that every kid with a piece of his heart, they were not just a number. And when Orton figured out how to fill the void, he tells Cena that Cena needs to have some kids. Orton asks to imagine a little square-jawed, thick Cena's running around. The world will be a better place, and he tells Cena to have kids, grow up, and be a better human being. Cena tells Orton, "How dare you?" He tells Orton that he is parent shaming him and congratulations him for having children and loving them. Wow. Cena tells Orton the real reason he doesn't have kids is because he spent the last 25 years raising yours. Cena's sorry. Raising yours. Cena says he looks in the camera, and by the sound of everyone tonight, he has done an impeccable job. He says for the last 25 years he's been a better parent to the kids than parents could ever be. He looks at the kid in the crowd and tells him that his dad is a loser. The kid flips Cena off and tells him he is very classy. Wow, that's not cool. Kids shouldn't flip the birds. Adults do that. Cena tells him he's very classy. Cena tells Orton that he has been polishing brats for a quarter of a century. Wow. He tells the kid to never bring a knife to a gunfight, and his dad probably never taught him that. Wow. Orton tells him the fans are the reason why he's in Hollywood right now and crushing it. Without WWE, there is no Hollywood. Without the fans, there is no WWE. No matter the math, the fans are the biggest reason why Cena is standing in the ring with him. And Orton says he's made a lot of mistakes, but he can go in the back, hold his head high, and gets respect. He's a piece of furniture, but he is here to stay. But Cena is a guest. Cena tells Orton they all have their perspectives. He used to believe in Orton, in that without the fans there is no WWE. They won together, but he was wrong. He never needed a single one of his fans. They will chant, "Let's go Cena, Cena sucks." And the fans begin chanting that. Cena says, imagine being told you suck for 25 years. He says Orton is just like the fans, all hypocrites. Cena says that if the roles reversed and he put his energy into anything but WWE, he's just an outcast. And I guess this is why it's dysfunctional. Why it's not a functional relationship. They are all manipulating the truth because they have done nothing in their lives. Cena points to a fan and says, all the fan that is dressed like Jack Black. He is 100 years old, and that's all the fan has to say for his life. Cena says he gets criticized and labeled as an outcast for trying to do something different. Orton tells him that Orton was stupid to come out to think that this weird world, Cena would listen to what he is saying. He says that before Cody's music hits. Cena's music hits, we hear Cody say wrestling has more than one royal family. Cody is not just talking about Cody's family, but his family too. Wrestling has given Orton everything. It will provide for him, his children too. He tells Cena he won't ruin wrestling, and Cena tells him to shut his mouth. He tells Orton that Orton does not understand. Cena says he's already won 17. Orton has won 14, but after Cena takes it, Orton is forever frozen at 14. There'll be another show, other matches. He will create some tinfoil champion if Orton wins it. Orton is counter starts at 1. What he is trying to do is what he leaves to make sure 3 generations of Orton's family is erased. Wow. Orton rubs his head and the fans chant RKO. Orton tells Cena to prove that he is the last real champion and to put his title on the line right now. Cena raises his belt and says no. And just like so many times over the last 25 years, he's going to do it. He's going to save Orton's ass. Cena says there should be a match. Randy Orton against John Cena for an undisputed World Wrestling Entertainment Championship. But it should not happen here. It should happen at Backlash 2025 because Backlash is in St. Louis. Because Orton is a native of St. Louis. Cena tells Orton he can spend the whole day with his family, be well rested, and at his best because he needs Randy Orton at his best. Because after Backlash 2025, when Orton fails, Orton will have no excuses. Cena tells Orton to take a good look. This is what the last real champion looks like. Cena tells Orton that this is as close as Orton will get to the championship. He throws the belt at Cena at Orton, who catches it, but Cena with the right hand, Orton goes down, and Cena begins kicking him. Cena grabs the belt, and Orton gets up. Cena swings, Orton ducks, and hits a RKO. Fans chant Orton and grabs the title and raises it in the air as his music hits. We cut to Wade Barrett and Joe Tessitore. Joe mentions that all I can say is this. Orton was right. Now that Cena's a heel and Orton is a face when he punt kicked Cena's dad in the head after the match at SummerSlam 2007. It's at Backlash 2025, Cena versus Orton again. All I can say is this about this. I know what Orton is gonna do. I know what Cena is gonna do. I know exactly what Cena is going to do. I'm trying to wait. Hold on. Let me give you fun. I'm trying to think right here. This is what I'm thinking about right now with what Cena might do. What Cena might do. This is what I'm thinking what Cena might do at SummerSlam. I mean at Backlash 2025. This is what I'm thinking right now. This is what I'm thinking right now. Let me try to I got this right in my head. I'm trying to figure out something right quick. Let me give you 1 second. This is why I'm thinking what might happen at Backlash. What Cena is going to do, what Orton did them years ago, slap the referee and get disqualified. But not only that, remember when Orton punt kicked Cena's dad in the head the night after their match at SummerSlam 2007? Well, what Cena will do to Orton's dad, WWE Hall of Famer Cowboy Bob Orton, will be nothing compared to what Orton did to Cena's dad when Orton punt kicked Cena's dad in the head the night after SummerSlam 2000, after their match at SummerSlam 2007, because Backlash is in Orton's hometown, St. Louis, Missouri. Because Orton will have family by his side in the crowd, in the crowd. Trust me. And fans might think It's karma for Orton. Cause what John Cena's like, cause all people gonna be thinking that I don't know, all you WWE fans are thinking what John Cena did to Randy Orton's father, WWE Hall of Famer Cowboy Bob Orton, is what Orton did to John Cena's father, John Cena Sr. So and all you think is gonna be what goes around comes around. Trust me, that's what's gonna happen. And Orton's gonna cause him a fit of rage. Never mind that. Ignore that little Facebook sound. Everybody ignore it. Let's get back to saying, okay, we have Wade Barrett and Joe Tessitore. Joe mentions that Fraction of NXT have arrived to SmackDown, and we see Fraction with the video package. Legado del Fantasma, Angel Berto and Berto versus Fraction. Axiom and Nathan Frazier. The bell rings are underway. Berto and Axiom start the match. Axiom with Hurricanrana followed by a drop kick. Nathan is tagged in and they double team Berto, who falls to the outside of the ring. In comes Angel and they double team him to the outside of the ring. Fraction with a double suicide dive to the outside. Frazier gets back in the ring and lands a running senton over the top rope. Both over the top rope. Both man. Axiom gets back into the ring, lands a moonsault off the top rope. Nathan throws Berto back in the ring. He goes for the cover, but Berto kicks out. Axiom is tagged back in. He gets Berto in the headbutt and throws him to the top ropes. Angel is tagged in. Axiom runs to the ropes, but Angel lowers the middle rope. Axiom falls to the outside of the ring. Then we go to commercial break. Back from commercial, Nathan runs to the ropes and takes Berto down with a forearm. A sling blade followed by a standing senton. He goes for the cover, but Berto kicks out. He grabs Berto with a kick to the side of the head. Angel is tagged in. He kicks Nathan in the face. He goes for the cover, but Nathan kicks out. Berto is tagged back in, and Nathan is placed on top of the rope. The Legado del Fantasma climb in the second rope. They lift Nathan up in an MTY. Berto with a moonsault off the top rope. He goes for the cover, but Axiom goes for the cover. He goes to them but breaking the cover. Angel and Axiom are tagged in. Angel with a knee to the face, but Axiom with a kick to the head. Angel with a headbutt, and both men are down. Angel climbs the top rope, but Axiom with a kick to the side of the head. Both men on the top rope. Nathan tags himself in. Axiom tags in Axiom with a Spanish fly. Nathan climbs to the top rope and lands on his Phoenix Splash. He goes to the cover and gets the pin. Winners Fraction. We cut back to see DIY preparing for their match. Commercial break. Tiffany Stratton and Jay Cargill will see a segment. WWE SmackDown Women's Champion Tiffany Stratton comes out to the fans cheering. She says at WrestleMania Vegas it was Tiffy time. She went toe to toe with one of the greatest of all time, Charlotte Flair. You know I don't like Tiffy time. The fans boo, and Tiffany says there were times where she doubted herself, but in the end, she prevailed. She walked out of WrestleMania Vegas still the champion. Tiffany says that she was told she's the next Charlotte Flair, but that is wrong. There may be only one Charlotte Flair, and there's only one, Tiffany Stratton. Cargill's music hits, and out she comes. And Jay tells Tiffany to cut it. Jay come out to give credit where credit is due. Her match against Flair was impressive, but did nothing but create a paper target on her back. And since business is finished for Naomi, she has nothing but time. She thinks it's time for her to remind everyone why she came to WWE, for everyone else to see why she became a champion. And for Tiffany to understand that just because she beat Flair, that does not mean she is the best, especially since Flair hasn't faced her. Stratton tells her to put her money where her mouth is, and to get in a referee out here right now. Out comes a referee. All I can say is this. If it hadn't been for Naomi, this is true. If it hadn't been for Naomi, if it wasn't, I don't know if you agree with this. If it wasn't for Naomi, Jay wouldn't be out of action, and would be in the 2025 Women's Royal Rumble match last February and won it, and faced Tiffany time for the SmackDown Women's title WrestleMania 41. That's true. That's a real fact. Okay, it's 12 a.m. right? Well, it's 12 a.m. right now. Hold on a second. Okay, hold on a second. Well, okay, hold on. Okay, here it goes. Now in the match for the WWE. Here it goes for the match. Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill. The bell rings and we're underway. Jade with a race luck takedown, but Tiffany gets back to her feet. Tiffany with a headlock, and Jade pushes her to get to the ropes. Jade with a shoulder tackle. Tiffany gets back up, and Jade goes for a suplex. But Tiffany lands on her feet. She rolls Jade up, but Jade kicks out. Both women back to their feet. Tiffany extends her hand, but Jade shakes it. Tiffany with headlock into the ropes, but Jade with an arm drag takedown. Jade lifts Tiffany up. Tiffany lands on her feet, and arm drag takes down Jade. She runs towards Jade, but Jade with a backbreaker. Jade runs towards Tiffany, but Tiffany with a top drop toe hold, and she lands on running hip attack. She runs toward Jade, but Jade with a spine buster. She goes for the cover, but Tiffany kicks out. Jade goes for a knee to the face, but Tiffany ducks and goes for the cover, but Jade kicks out. Tiffany with spine buster, she goes for the cover, but Jade kicks out. Tiffany with a back elbow to the face in the corner, and Jade falls to the mat. Tiffany goes for the cover, but Jade kicks out. Tiffany throws Jade in the corner and lands on another elbow. She goes for the cover, but Jade kicks out. Back from the previous commercial, Tiffany with a running swanton, she goes for the cut, prettiest moonsault ever. Tiffany slips, gets back on, goes for the moonsault. Jade moves out of the way. Tiffany lands on her feet, but Tiffany runs to the ropes. Goes for the cartwheel, Alabama slam, but Jade catches her and lands a power bomb. She goes for the cover, but Tiffany kicks out. Jade grabs her for the jaded. Tiffany lands on her feet and lands a drop kick. She goes for cover, but Jade kicks out. Tiffany climbs to the top rope, but Jade gets to ropes. Jade with a suplex off the second rope. Tiffany rolls to the ring apron. Now comes Naomi. She gets in the ring and forearms Jade onto Jade, and the referee calls for the bell. Winning by DQ, Jade Cargill. Naomi throws Jade into the ring post and the fans boo. Tiffany gets in the ring and Naomi backs away and leaves the ring. Nia Jax, wow, Nia, in the return of Nia Jax comes from behind, attacks Tiffany. Nia with a leg drop followed by an annihilator. Nia raises the SmackDown Women's Championship in the air and throws it into Tiffany, who is down on the mat. Wow. You know, all I can say is this was somehow she's gonna get back what is hers, and that's the SmackDown Women's title. Now that she's back, even though I'm still not more of a fan of Tiffany Stratton a little bit, and let's see what else. I bet you somehow now that she had help, and you know, this means that Naomi's gonna have backup, and Nia will get back the SmackDown Women's title with Naomi's help. Since I never liked Tiffany time anyway, it looks like Nia and needs Naomi and Candice LeRae, because it looks like Candice LeRae is gone. Okay, hold on a second. Hold on one second. This is it. Hold on one second. Just hold on one second, everybody. Hold on. That's my heart. Okay, hold on once. Okay, as I was saying, okay, we see the Machine Guns preparing for their match. Then go to commercial break. United States Championship segment for Jacob Fatu, Soul Seeker, Ellen Knight, and Drew McIntyre. Jacob Fatu's music hits, and out he comes with Soul Seeker. Fatu comes out with a WWE US Championship around his neck. Fans chant Fatu. Now they're trying to push him as a babyface, so he be doing some bullying people, beating everybody up. Soul Seeker introduces Fatu as the US champion. Soul says that WrestleMania everyone saw what he knew, that Jacob Fatu is the future. He's the future of this company. Soul says that no one wanted Jacob here except for him. They thought he was much trouble, too much of a risk. But the one who changed and made that all happen was him. He was the reason that Fatu is champion. He is the reason. He is the one that brought him back here and took him to the promised land. He says that this is what happens when you love your family. As Soul continues to speak, Fatu takes the microphone from him. The fans chant Fatu as he tells Soul to not get it twisted. He told Solo that he was going to win the title. He told him that the U.S. title was coming home with to the family and told him that he was going to do it with him or without him. Fatu says this is what he did. Fatu tells the fans to look at their new U.S. champion. He says he knows that this title makes him America's most wanted and that it makes him a menace to society. But at the end of the day, Solo gets better in. Solo better get in where he fits in because he is all gas, no breaks with it. Then we see LA Knight's music hits and out he comes. He tells them, "Let me talk to you." And he begins walking down to the ring. He said at WrestleMania, Fatu ate a BFT. And Fatu grabbed the ropes during the pin. And after that, Fatu was able to beat him. Credit where credit is due. It could happen to anyone, and anyone can get it. But he walked back, and everyone said he had a hell of a match. But he is not worried about that. He is worried about winning and taking the belt. He tells Fatu that he wants a rematch. And he wants it right now. Drew McIntyre's music hits and out he comes. Now, I'm not happy he beat Damian Priest. He tells the fans it is not easy always being Drew McIntyre. Personally, it is being tall, jack, handsome, and having big guns. And who gives a shit? But professionally, he gets screwed every title match. But at WrestleMania, he beat Priest in one of his final matches in WrestleMania history. Shut up, please. Drew, you screwed yourself, man. You Scottish whiner. Drew tells Priest thanks him because it was an absolute pleasure to embarrass him in front of his family. Shut up. Drew says the next plan was to challenge John Cena for the title, but Orton jumped in the line. The same Orton he beat a few weeks ago. He asked if it was World Wrestling Entertainment or World Nimprotainment. Actually, it's World Worst Entertainment, to be exact. Drew says Cena is a punk now, and so anyone's a punk is you, Drew. Drew says he wants to fight the big baddest dog in the yard, and he wants to fight the baddest champion in the yard. He tells Fatu he wants to fight him. LA Knight says blah blah blah, and for someone to wake him up, Drew says. Drew says the only joke around here was LA Knight's last U.S. title run. LA says he knew Drew's last title run was a joke, but he can't remember it. He tells Drew if he has a problem with Orton, go talk to the Orton, but his time is now. If Drew thinks he deserves the U.S. title so bad to come in and show him. Drew agrees and gets in the ring, but out comes Adam Pearce. He tells them to go back in the ring, put their belts and boots because it will be on Drew McIntyre against LA Knight. And then the winner is the #1 contender for the U.S. Championship. We cut back to back to see Zelina Vega walking. Brian Saxton stops her and asks about her match tonight. He tells him that he knows she is and known to have a big mouth, but tonight is one of those nights where she is speechless. It means a lot to her that just like her mentor Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero, she wants to bring some Latino heat. Then we go to commercial break. Now it's time for the Women's U.S. Championship. Chelsea Green, Piper Niven, and Alba Fyre versus Zelina Vega. The bell rings are underway. Green goes after Vega, but Vega moves out of the way. Zelina Vega rolls her up, but Chelsea kicks out. Zelina Vega on the apron. She grabs Chelsea, tripping her up. Fyre and Niven distract Zelina Vega, and Chelsea drops kick to her outside the ring. Chelsea distracts the referee as Niven and Fyre double team Zelina Vega. Commercial break. Back from commercial, both women on the second rope. Vega German suplexes Green. Both women back up as Vega with a clothesline. Chelsea go down the corner and Vega with a running knee to the face. Vega climbs to the second ropes and lands on a Meteora. She goes for the cover, but Green kicks out. Fyre gets on the ring apron and Vega knocks her down. Vega turns around and Green with a kick to the face. She goes for the Unprettier, but Vega with a backstabber. Vega goes for the 619 and she trips Vega up. The referee catches it late, and Fire grabs Vega. The referee kicks him away from the ring side. Chelsea with a right hand from behind. She throws Vega to the ropes. Vega with a cold red. She goes for the cover and gets the pin. And winning new U.S. champion, new women's U.S. champion is Zelina Vega. Yep, it's about time someone had to shut Chelsea Green's pie hole up. Congratulations, Zelina, for her first U.S. title, and she deserves it. Sexy Latina. You deserve it, Zelina. The Miz and Carmella Hayes are backstage standing in front of Andre the Giant Battle Royal trophy. Miz tells Carmella Hayes that when it's all said and done, Hayes will be the greatest Andre the Giant Battle Royal winner of all time. That's why he sacrificed himself last week. Miz gives him a thick gold necklace and he thanks him. Miz tells Hayes that he inspired him to go out of the ring right now. Then we go to commercial break. Aleister Black returns. Yes, he's back. Oh my God, I'm shocked. This means that we can now have a husband and wife duo back in the ring. Aleister Black. This means we have a husband and duo on husband and wife duo on the show Smackdown. Aleister Black and his wife Zelina Vega. Yep. I bet she's his wife is very but her husband must be very proud of her right now that he's back. Yep, very proud. Shocked me to see him back. Back from commercial, Miz is already standing in the ring. He says since 2007 he has been an inaugural part of WrestleMania, but this year he had no mention, nowhere to be found. He says he main evented WrestleMania, beating John Cena, retaining the WWE Championship, something Cody could not do. And yet Cody gets the cheers, the pyro, the spotlight. He gets it. Cody was champion, but when Rey Mysterio came hollering in at WrestleMania, he goes to someone who has been there for 2 weeks. Miz has been there for 20 years. He asks himself if he has to wear a lucha match and call himself Rey. Owens goes down, and the fans want someone who's an internet meme, someone who's an internet fraud, an internet trainee. He is sick and tired of people showing up in WWE, people that cannot lace his boots in the ring. He is tired of them getting opportunity. He is an A-lister, the most see WWE superstar of all time. He is the Miz, and he is awesome. Lights go back, and we see Aleister Black rising the screen. And yep, he's back. Begins walking the ring. He rolls the ring and sits down in the middle of the ring. Black stands up, and lights come back on. The fans chant, "Welcome back," and cheer. The Miz asks him, "Who the hell do you?" And Black with a spinning kick to the face, and Miz takes Miz down. Black sits back down in the middle of the ring, and his music hits, and lights go dark. We cut to the back to see, and the Street Profits are preparing for their match. Commercial break. Back from the commercial, Brian Saxon is with Bianca Belair. Her fingers are wrapped, and she says she left WrestleMania with a few broken fingers. Things did not go her way, but she is proud of what the three of them did at WrestleMania. She says EO found a perfect opportunity to capitalize, and what she would have done the same. As for Rhea, she found a way to sneak into her match. but now she is focused on healing, and SmackDown is her home right now. Her home is divided. We cut backstage to see Naomi walking. She is stopped by Nia Jax. She tells Naomi she doesn't care about her revenge against Jade and for her to stay away from her and her title. Naomi tells Nia as long as she proceeds with caution, she walks away. Now we see the number one contender for U.S. Championship, Drew McIntyre versus LA Knight. The bell rings to run away. A collar and elbow tie up, but Drew, with a waist lock takedown, LA Knight gets back to his feet, and another collar and tie up. LA Knight with a waist lock and goes down Drew. LA Knight slaps him across the head, but both men back to their feet. Drew to the top ropes and lands on a shoulder tackle. Drew back to the ropes, and LA Knight with a back elbow followed by a backdrop. He goes for cover, but Drew kicks out. LA Knight grabs Drew, but Drew with a chop to the chest. Right hands by Drew, and he runs towards LA Knight, but LA Knight moves out of the way and Drew to the outside of the ring. LA Knight to the outside and grabs Drew, but Drew pushes him away and gets back into the ring. LA Knight on the ring apron, but Drew hangs him up on the ropes. Drew with a shoulder tackle, and LA Knight bounces off and onto the barricade. Drew holding his ribs, and the referee begins the 10 count, but LA Knight gets back in the ring. Drew with a brain buster, and he goes for the cover, but LA Knight kicks out. Drew gets LA Knight in the corner and lands a chop to the chest. Right hands by Drew in the corner, and Drew goes for a suplex, but LA Knight blocks it, and LA Knight with a suplex. LA Knight with a Russian leg sweep followed by a jumping neck breaker. He goes for a cover, but Drew kicks out. LA Knight grabs Drew with a Glasgow kiss. He goes for a shot DDT, but LA Knight rolls him up, but Drew kicks out. LA Knight with a jumping, leaping elbow off the rope. He goes for a cover, but Drew kicks out. LA Knight goes for the BFT, but Drew lands on his feet and gets on the ring apron. LA Knight trips him up and Drew to the outside. LA Knight slams Drew's hand into the announce table. LA Knight throws Drew back into the ring, and with the referee looking at Drew, Solo Sikoa gets it to the outside and hits LA Knight with a Samoan spike. He throws LA Knight back into the ring. Drew looks confused and is about to go for the Claymore, but Damian Priest comes out and grabs Drew. The referee calls for bell, and the Priest throws him in the barricade, winning by disqualification Drew McIntyre. Now he's the number one contender. Drew McIntyre is now going to bury LA Knight now. I mean, I don't know why these fans want everything to be about Drew McIntyre. And Priest chokeslams Drew through the announce table. LA Knight and Damian Priest argue on the outside of the ring, and there's nowhere, and out of nowhere is Jacob Fatu with suicide dive onto both men. He throws them back into the ring and lands on a running hip attack onto LA Knight. Jacob Fatu with a jump moonsault onto LA Knight. He hits Pri with a running hip attack followed by a jump moonsault. Fatu is the United States champ. Grabs the United States championship in the ring, and fans chant Fatu as his music plays. We see clips of Raw involving Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker attacking Roman Reigns and CM Punk, and they're going to have hell to pay. We see John Cena walking backstage. He's stopped by R-Truth. He congratulates Cena on winning the title and tells him if he needs him anytime to give him a call. Cena walks away, and in comes Jimmy Uso. He tells R-Truth what Cena did. What he asks R-Truth when did Cena become so wrecked. R-Truth tells him that Cena is a true champion, and there are two sides to every story, and when he grows up he wants to be just like him. R-Truth walks away, and Jimmy tells R-Truth he's already grown up, and he's right. Now we have this main event that I really don't like here. Triple threat tables, ladders, and chairs tag team match. Street Profits champions versus Machine Guns versus DIY. The bell rings to run away. DIY in control on as they take both teams down the ring. DIY to the outside and grab a ladder, but the Machine Guns with a baseball slide, and the ladder hits DIY in the face. Machine Guns with right hands on the Street Profits in the ring. In come DIY, but they are taken out by the Machine Guns. DIY and the Street Profits to the outside of the ring, saving with a suicide dive to the outside, but Gargano hits him in the chair. Hits him with a chair in the head. Gargano hits Shelley with a chair. On the outside of the ring, Gargano pushes Ciampa outside over the announce table. He grabs Gargano, lifts him, and hits him in the head first into the ring post. Dawkins slides a ladder into the ring and sets it up in the middle of the ring. The fans chant, "We want tables." Sabin jumps onto the back of the Dawkins, and Dawkins begins to climb to the ladder. Dawkins knocks Sabin down, but in comes Shelley, who delivers a dragon screw, taking him down, and in comes Gargano, but motion guns double teaming him, and is thrown to the ladder. In comes Ciampa, then double team him. And in comes Ford, and they push the ladder onto him. Dawkins gets in the ring, and he knocks them both down with right hands. Dawkins moves to the ladder and places it on the ring. Dawkins with a 460 splash onto the motion machine guns. Dawkins climbs to the top rope, but they trip him up, and again in the tree of woe. Motion machine guns to the outside. Sabin grabs the chair and they get back in the ring. Sabin pulses in front of the chair in the face of Dawkins, with Shelley with a basement dropkick into the head. Ford gets in the ring and places a chair in front of his face with Shelley, and Shelley with a dropkick off the top rope onto the chair. Hitting Ford face first, Gargano grabs Shelley to the outside, and Ciampa grabs Sabin, throwing him into the barricade. With both teams onto the outside, Ford with a flying senton for top rope, and onto both teams. Ford grabs a ladder and slides it into the ring. He places it under the belts and climbs the ladder. Ciampa gets back into the ring and he grabs the opposite side of the ladder. Gargano with a ladder in the ring, and he places it next to Ford and Ciampa. Ford tries to grab the belts, but Ciampa with right hands. Ciampa jumps from one ladder and the twisted liner onto Ford onto the mat, and in comes Dawkins and he pulls the Ciampa down. Dawkins starts to climb to the ladder, but in comes DIY. Gargano climbs to the ladder, but Dawkins with a silencer off the ladder and onto the mat. Ciampa throws one of the ladders to the outside, and he begins to climb the other ladder. In comes Sabin, and he is on the ladder. Dawkins pushes them both off the ladder and into the ropes. Shelley gets in the ring, and he throws Dawkins to the outside. Ciampa grabs the chair and he hits both Shelley and Sabin with it. He placed the chair onto Shelley's neck, and Gargano hits Shelley's neck with a chair. Ciampa with a brainbuster onto a chair. It comes Dawkins, but DIY double team him with the chairs. Gargano places two chairs the opposite sides of each other, and they go to suplex Dawkins, but Ford grabs Ciampa to the outside with Dawkins with the right hand to Gargano, and he is slammed onto the chairs. The Street Profits are standing in the ring and slap each other like the Dudley's boys yell, "Get the tables." The Street Profits to the outside of the ring, and they slide a table onto the ring. Ciampa gets on to the ring apron with a super kick, and Dawkins gets Ciampa on his shoulders and Ford with a blockbuster, and he lands onto everyone on the outside of the ring. The fans are chanting, "This is awesome." Ford grabs a prosthetic leg from a fan, and he hits Gargano with it. Ford throws the leg back to the fan, and he bridges a ladder between the barricade and the ring. Ciampa throws Ford into the ladder face first. DIY slams Shelley into the ring apron. Sabin hits Dawkins from behind with a chair and places him on the table on the outside of the ring. Ciampa sets up a table on the outside next to the bridge ladder. Shelley throws Gargano face first onto the ring steps. Sabin climbs to the top rope and lands a splash on Dawkins through the table on the outside of the ring. Ford places Ciampa on the table and onto the outside of the ring. Ford gets back into the ring and he runs, landing a senton over the top rope and onto Ciampa through the table. The fans chant, "This is awesome." All 6 men are down outside of the ring. Ford and Gargano are the first ones to their feet. To get back in the ring, and Ford with a kick to the side of the head. Ford climbs to the top rope. Ciampa pulls him down into the ring apron and hits him with a big boot. Ciampa gets Ford on to his shoulders. He lands on a white noise through the bridge ladder. Gargano places the ladder under the belts in the ring, but in comes Shelley. He grabs him by the leg. Gargano with right hands, and he knocks Shelley down. Sabin gets on the apron. Gargano gets on the ring apron, but Motor Machine Guns kicks to the face. There is a table on the outside. Sabin grabs Gargano and they land skull bones through the table. Ciampa gets back in the ring and they begin to climb the ladder. And he gets a hand on one of the belts, but the Motion Machine Guns move the ladder on Ciampa and is hanging onto the belts. The Motion Machine Guns hit him with steel chairs and they place the table under Ciampa. And Dawkins climbs the ladder in the corner. Dawkins spears Ciampa into midair through the table. Motion Machine Guns place the ladder under their belts, and the Motion Machine Guns climbs. And in comes Gargano. He hits Sabin with the chair, and he throws the chair onto Shelley, hitting him in the head. And Gargano climbs to the ladder as does Sabin. Both men get to the top of the ladder and they hit each other with right hands. Sabin knocks Gargano down. Forward with a springboard onto the ladder. He knocks Sabin down. He gets his hands on the belt, but Gargano trips him down. Gargano climbs the ladder, but Sabin gets back on the ladder. Ford gets to his feet, and he climbs the ladder from the outside, from the inside out. Ford knocks them both down, and Ford hits at the top of the ladder, and he grabs both belts. Still WWE World Tag Team Champions, the Street Profits. Wow. Last night they got really buried. They really got buried last night. Motion Machine Guns really got buried. Motion Machine Guns and DIY as the Street Profits are down. Motion Machine Guns and DIY are down as the Street Profits celebrate with fans as SmackDown goes off the air. Garbage. Complete garbage last night. BS. The Street Profits are good athletes. I still like the Street Profits. Still, I'm a little bit. I'm black. I'm African American, just as they are. But the Motion Machine Guns really got buried again last night. The question is Backlash 2020 going to be worth watching? I don't think so. Because think about it. Because look, we all know what's going to happen. We all know that John Cena is going to humiliate Orton in front of his own hometown. And it's going to be we all know he's going to retain his title, and he's going to destroy. And what he's going to do. I know what he's going to do. Orton's going to, like I said before, this is what I believe what might happen. This is what I believe what really might happen. Bob Orton, I bet you WWE Hall of Famer Randy Orton's father, WWE Hall of Famer Bob Orton, is going to be sitting in the front row at Backlash, and he's going to get attacked, and Cena's going to attack him. You know what? And he's going to just watch. Yeah, Bob Orton, Randy Orton's father, WWE Hall of Famer Bob Orton, is going to be sitting in the front row. And what Cena is going to do to Randy Orton's father, Bob Orton, will be nothing. Nothing compared to what nothing compared to what Orton did to John Cena's father the night after their match at SummerSlam 2007 when he punt kicked him in the head. Yeah. It'll be the same thing. It'll be nothing compared to that. Yeah, I mean, nothing compared, and it's gonna be somehow a little bit of karma for Orton, what he did to what Orton did to Cena's father after the match at SummerSlam 2007. Yeah, the Backlash won't be good. Just tell me, I bet your Backlash won't be good. Cena's gonna retain his WWE Undisputed World Wrestling Entertainment Championship. Just watch. I bet you Orton's gonna fume. But 2 wrongs don't make a right. And 2 wrongs won't make a right. Cena, yeah, Orton did punt kick John Cena's father in the head after that match at SummerSlam 2007. And Cena will do the same. Do what Cena will do. I bet you what John Cena's gonna do to Zack. And Cena's gonna do the same. What Cena is gonna do to and what John Cena's gonna do to Orton's father will be nothing compared to what Orton did to John Cena's father. If that happens, if Randy Orton's father is sitting at ringside. So that's all I got to say for all of you. That's it. Got my record all down. Now it's time for something I like to do. All I know what it's time for. It's time for It's time for Justin's timeline history of all the wrestling birthdays, wrestling history, and pop culture. And all you hear that little jingle right here is the theme to Back to the Future starring Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd. Starring, can't wait for his 40th anniversary, July 3rd, 2025. July 3rd, 2025, and because the movie was released July 3rd, 1985. Cannot wait. So let's go to April the 24th, shall we? Okay. Last Thursday was a happy birthday to Cedric Entertainer, who was a WWE guest. He was a guest on Monday Night Raw on the September 20, 2000. He was a guest on the September 21st, 2009 episode of Monday Night Raw, where he defeated Chavo Guerrero, comedian. He turned 61 last Thursday. Luthez would have been 109 last Thursday, and he died of complication of surgery. It was April 28th, 2002. He's a legend, one of the best wrestlers in history of in history of wrestling. Luther as press was really created. Okay, April 20. Okay, now some wrestling history. By the way, rest in peace to actress Lara Park Lincoln, best known for Friday the 13th Part 7, The New Blood, and TV's Knots Landing. I had no idea she was she was sick and had cancer. And see well, I don't think there was no WCW's Prime on WCW Prime. Yeah, the Blue Bloods faced off against Mike Douglas and Barry Houston. I think the Blue Bloods won. Paul Orndorff defeated versus Scott Armstrong. I think it was a no count out and then double disqualification, I think. And Big Bubba defeated Eddie Jackie. And Bunkhouse Buck and Dirty Slaughter, I think, defeated Bob Horn, Tim Horn, and Brad Armstrong. And and Johnny B. Bad and Alex Wright defeated Steve Austin and Arnson, and it was a disqualification, I believe. And on WWF Monday Night Raw, this is what happened. This is what one of the most I know all of you remember this moment right here. This is when Smoking Guns defeated Barry Horowitz and the Brooklyn Brawler, and Bertha Faye defeated Loud Panther of Serena, and Diesel, Kevin Nash, Diesel defeated Bam Bam Bigelow with Millionaire Ted Nugent to frame the WWE Championship. And this is what happened after. This is what happened after the match was over. This is when what happened was that Ted DiBiase came out and berated. Ted DiBiase came out and berated. Ted DiBiase came out and berated. By the way, one other thing, rest in peace to Steve Michael, by the way, who was at WrestleMania, who was at WrestleMania 11, and we did commentary for WCW Monday Nitro. God rest his soul. One of the best football players. And this is what happened. This is what happened after this is what happened after the match. What happened was Ted DiBiase came out and berated Bam Bam Bigelow for losing the Diesel, just like he lost to a football player, NFL legend Lawrence Taylor, and then Bam Bam Bigelow, then Ted DiBiase slaps in the face, and then Bam Bam Bigelow turned face. Ted DiBiase fired him, slaps in the face. Then Bam Bam Bigelow starts to turn face, and then Tatanka attacks him. And then let me show you the audio piece to all of you.
Ted DiBiase is saying, it's not bad enough. It's not bad enough that at the Royal Rumble you lost to the 1-2-3 Kid and Bob Sparkplug Holly and embarrassed and humiliated the corporation. If that wasn't bad enough, you challenged Lawrence Taylor and the corporation, and I stood behind you 100%. Not only did we stand behind you, we were at ringside behind you at WrestleMania. And you lost to a football player, and you embarrassed and humiliated me again. And now this, Bigelow, now this, you embarrassed me again. Nobody embarrasses the corporation or the $1 Million Man. A good time, I had it, Bam Bam. I had the World Wrestling Federation title right here in the palm of my hand. 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out. Something has to be done, Bigelow, and I'm going to do it right now. You are fired.
Oh, my goodness! Whoa! Look out! Tatanka attacking Bam Bam Bigelow! Tatanka going to work on Bam Bam! Imagine the nerve of 10 Bigelow. Wait a minute! Take Tatanka back! Tatanka over the top! Go for it! Go for it! Wait a minute, Bam Bam! Don't do anything stupid!
You can't fire me. I quit. And now, I'm going to give you a million reasons why.
Here he goes, he's gonna go for it! Bam Bam's gonna... Here comes that one, I shot from behind! IRS! IRS is Tatanka! Whirling away on Bam Bam Bigelow! Tatanka! Wait a minute, no, look at that! Oh no! Oh no! Fuck! Oh! Shit! Psycho shit! IRS and Tatanka holding Bam Bam! Look what he's doing to Bam Bam!
It just goes to show you, McMahon, you cannot embarrass the corporation and get away with it.
Look at Chip! And again!
Psycho shit. Out of his way. From Bam Bam Bigelow.
DiBiase referred this in as the crown jewel of a $1 million corporation. And Bam Bam gave it his all. He gave it his all.
But he lost, McMahon. He lost.
He gave it his all here tonight against Jesus. And said no! 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 Wait a minute! Here comes the WWE Champion! Jesus! Oh, the Tatanka in the ring!
Yep. And then Bam Bam Bigelow told Ted DiBiase, he grabbed the microphone and says, "You can't fire me. I quit." And then all the members of the corporation started attacking. Then and Kevin Nash, Big Daddy Cool Diesel came out and was a just tried to turn him babyface, Bam Bam Bigelow. God rest his soul, Bam Bam Bigelow. Then on that night, on Monday Night Raw, Aldo Montoya defeated the Black Phantom, and the show ends. Then 2005 on Sunday Night Heat, and there was no match. A little recap episode. And then a little pay-per-view aired on that night. TNA Lockdown 2005 held at Impact Zone, Orlando, Florida. This was Chris Candido was suffering from a leg injury during this tag team match, and during his tag team. This is on the match right here. This is a three-way tag team match. Three Live Crew, Conan, Ron Killings defeated Davey Young, Lyle, and Lex Lovett. Naturals. Andy Douglas and Chase Stevens. Chris Candido. Paul and Southern Siako defeated Chris Candido and Lance Hoyt in six sides of steels match. Dustin American Dream, the natural Dustin Rhodes defeated Bobby the Brain. Dustin Rhodes defeated Bobby Roode. Bobby Roode and A1 and the coach and Coach Diamore 2-1 the Prince of Darkness match. This was a steel size cage, 6 styles cage match. This was Chris Candido's last match. He had a little leg injury during this match. He suffered a dislocated shoulder. He was diagnosed with a dislocated ankle, broken tibia, and broken fibula, and required surgery. Yeah, it was just a tragic passing. He died a couple of days later. In a 4-man escape match, Shocker defeated Chris Sabin and Matt Bentley with Trinity and Sanjay Dutt. Jeff Hardy defeated Raven in 6 stars as a tables match. America's Most Wanted Chris Harris and James Storms defeated Team Canada Eric Young and P. Williams A1 in 6 styles of steel strap match for NWA World Tag Team Championship. And Christopher Daniels defeated Ig Skipper in 6 styles of steel cage match for TNA X Division Championship. And Team Nash, BG James, known as the Road Digest James, DDP Diamond Dallas Page, and Sean Walton, known as X-Pac defeated Team Jarrett, Jeff Jarrett, Monty Brown, and the Outlaw. Some of you know as BG James, the former DX member, the Outlaw, Billy Gunn. Yeah, BG James, Sean Waltman, and Outlaw were all former DX members. Outlaw was badass Billy Gunn, BG James was the Road Dogg, Jesse James, and Sean Waltman was named X-Pac. It was a lethal lockdown match. Then AJ Styles defeated Abyss in a 6 sides of steel match for an NWA World Heavyweight Championship match at Hard Justice 2005. And the show ended. Now 2015. On Impact Wrestling, same day, April 24th. Yeah, Brooke defeated Madison Rain, Gail Kim, Angeline Love in the TNA World Women's Knockout Title match for No One Contendership 4-way match. Michael defeated Drew Galloway, and Eli Drake defeated Kenny King, Low Key, and MVP. Laura Dance defeated Jade and Marty Bell by DQ. David Richards defeated Manic. Tyron Terrell defeated Awesome Kong and no DQ squad formation to retain the TNA Women's Knockout Championship. And yeah, this was a special edition of Impact Wrestling. It was called TKO Night of Knockouts. And see what else. Then on WWE Superstars on that same day. See, see, hold on a second. Trying. I think some sources say it was that was April the 24th, but I think it was April 23rd, but it's 24th. Cesaro Tyson Kidd defeated Los Matadores, and Bad News Barrett defeated Jack Swagger. Then Pop Culture couple of movies released in theaters in April 25th, 2015. Adult Beginner starring Rose Byrne and Bobby Cannavale and Joel McHale. Blackbird starring Monique and Isaiah Washington. Brotherly Love starring Keke Palmer, Quincy Brown, Romeo Miller, Macy Gray, Malik Yoba, and Faison Love. Just Before I Go starring Sean William Scott, Garrett Dillahunt, Kate Walsh, and Missy Powell, and Connie Stevens, David Arquette, and Alicia Cuthbert was released. Little Boy Blue was released today, starring Emily Watson, Carrie Huey Takagawa, Michael Rappaport, Ben Chaplin, and Tom Wilkinson was released in theaters. It's a World War II drama. The Age of Adeline starring Blake Lively and Harrison Ford was released in Ellen Burstyn. And The War Divine starring Russell Crowe and Jay Courtney was released. Now let's go to yesterday's April the 25th. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Yesterday was a happy birthday to let's see. Okay, yesterday would have been a happy let's see. Happy 76th birthday to Jerry Blackwell. He died on January 26, 1995 of a car crash. Okay, Japanese wrestler Mr. Haito would have been 83 yesterday. He died of diabetes. He died on April 21st, 2010. Hold on 1 second, everybody. see what other birthdays. Okay. Yeah, he was in 83 yesterday, Mr. Haito. And see what else. The late Belladonna, she would have been 46 yesterday. She died on January 22nd, 2019. She's from TNA. Her name is Roxanne Biggerstaff. Let's see what else. A second, trying to figure out what something. Okay, what else? See, April 24th, 1995. Yesterday. Okay, the Public Enemy defeat Pit Bulls. Terry Funk and Sammy defeat Shane Douglas and Cactus Jack. Then 2005 on Monday Night Raw, April 24th, 2005, Monday Night Raw. Before Backlash in London, England. Trish Stratus and Viscera have a dinner date, and then Chris Jericho defeated Steven Grinding by submission. Chris Masters defeated Andy Baker. He was like a jobber. He was like a real life English wrestler, where Andy Baker in the Master Lock Challenge. And Tajiri and Daivari and Muhammad Safan defeated Tajiri and Willie Regal, embarrassing Willie Regal in his own hometown. Edge defeated his former stepbrother Val Venus. And Batista defeated Christian. Then Triple H attacks Batista. This is hours before the rematch for the World Heavyweight title at Backlash. This was in the World Wars Arena, formerly Genting Arena, LG Arena, and NEC Arena in Birmingham, England. Attendance was 10,500 attendance on Monday Night Raw. This was the go-home show before Backlash 2005. And that's it. That was the wrap up for all of you. For I did my history, wrestling history and birthdays. Along with my review. Now tonight I'm gonna close out some for all of you. It's midnight, and wait, hold on, wait. It's late Chad Henshaw say I like to dress up chubby checker, sing like Lionel Richie, dance like James Brown. I like to get in the hot tub, gonna be sweat, gonna be dry, gonna be wet. referring to Eddie Murphy doing an impression of Saturday Night Live back in the 80s of James Brown. I never grew up in the 80s, I grew up in the 90s, but I do remember, Mom told me about 80s culture. I do saw reruns of old school Saturday Night when I was little. So that'll wrap it up. Now I've got some close out a little music for all of you this midnight this morning. I'm gonna close out this song from the 50 Shades of Grey soundtrack called "Earned It" by The Weeknd. So hope all of you good morning. Get me some sleep. It's midnight. It's 1:04 in the morning right now. And hope all of you good night. And I'm out here. Please let me find the song right quick. Okay, like I said before, good night, everybody. And here is something to close out the show of this midnight. "Earned It" by The Weeknd from the 50 Shades of Grey movie soundtrack. Very good song. I like that song. I have 50 Shades of Grey on DVD. So good night, everybody. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Good night, everybody. Here's like I said before, here's "Earned It" by The Weeknd from the 50 Shades of Grey movie soundtrack, the movie that I have on DVD. So good night, everybody. Peace.